See, there's part of the ledge right there's a ledge right there.
Yeah.
So now you're going down the ledge. Okay. Well, folks, I'm out on another consultation trip. I know I've talked about this before, and we've got like 55 people signed up for the consultation trip. So I'm going to start contacting people and trying to set up days to go out. Typically for me, during the week is a little bit better. Well, a lot better actually than the weekends, because my weekends are usually Saturday fishing, Sunday spending with my wife. So we'll figure something out. But I'm out here with Brad. He's been a long-time supporter of the channel. Him and his wife Tatiana, they just had a little baby. He's so cute. And so I'm out here with him today to kind of teach him. He's wanting to learn how to read his Simrad, learning how to set up position on certain areas. We're on the flat right now. I told him I really want to go to the flat to try to catch bait, simply because the bait at the markers has been really tough, and at the Skyway, simply not tough, but not the right kind of bait. We've been catching a lot of threadfins, so I think that the white bait is in the transition of spawning and the big ones dying off and the little ones showing up. So I'm hoping that we can find some over here and see if we can catch some bait on the flats. So we're going to go through that process as we get prepared. He's preparing the chum, the live well, all that fun stuff, and then once we start chumming, I'll go through that also. Okay, basically what I'm doing is, when I first get on the flat, what I'll do is I'll spread out the bait in about 180 degrees, or spread out the chum, I'm sorry. So I spread out the chum 180 degrees to broadcast that we're out on the flat, that we're here looking to catch them. And then I'll start throwing bait. Now the tide is coming in, so it's flowing this way. So I'm throwing bait, our chum here, and it will flow down and it will create a chum slick. If you can see already that we have a calm spot behind the boat, that's creating a chum slick. So again, I'll throw out. Now I don't throw out a lot when I start to broadcast it. I try to throw out just little bits, and I'll broadcast it around the boat just to get them to know that we're here. Sometimes you get bait in the chum quick. Sometimes it takes forever and a day. It's just being patient and doing it. I know that the bait's here because I could hear it flicking on the surface. We were coming in and I said, they're here. So hopefully we can get them into the chum and we can catch them relatively pretty quickly. Okay, we caught our bait on the flat. Mainly it was pinfish, but we did get some white bait. There is white bait there. Right now we're stopping by a marker to see if we can catch threadfins, because I told Brad I wanted to get some threadfins for cut bait, because from the reports I'm getting from friends of mine inside the bay, cut bait has been the key, especially for snapper, but also for grouper. So I'm definitely going to stop here, and I was just explaining to Brad that we would want to be on the uptide side of this marker. I typically don't come to this marker to catch bait, but it's on the way, and I have caught bait at this marker before. So we're going to check it out really quick to see, but you always want to be on the uptide side of that. You don't have to put the trolling motor down. Let's wait until, let's get up there and see if we mark anything. If we don't, then we'll just go to the next marker. And one thing that I like to do is make sure that we mark bait first before we ever set up on a spot, because if I don't mark bait, then I'm not going to waste my time going there. So I'm going to show him what this bait's going to look like. And again, the thread fins, if they're there, they're up in the water column. If the white bait's there, they're down in the water column. So we're going to stop here and see. I'm seeing birds on here, so that's a good indication. Typically I like to see the birds on a marker when I'm going to fish a marker. There's thread fins right there. See how the thread fins are up in the water column? Yep. Yep. And then the white bait's down in the water column?
Yep.
Okay, so we came to a new marker because there was bait on that old one, or that other one, but I know that there's more bait at this marker. There's already thread fins showing up here mid-level. That's thread fins. That's white bait down below. So see how many more thread fins are here compared to the last one? This is why I wanted to come here. So there's just a tiny bit of white bait, but a ton of thread fins. When you see the bait up in the water column like that, it's thread fins. And that's what I'm after right now. I'm after thread fins because we just want to use them for cut bait. So let's see what we can do. Oh, I thought you were going to ask a question.
Oh, which one? Is that the right or is that the right?
No, this is the right here. So be on this side of the marker, but be to where we can throw the net if it has to go through the middle. Yeah. Okay. So basically just probably park the boat right up there. Tide's moving pretty good. So basically what I'm telling him is to line it up on this right side of the marker, so when I throw the net out this way, because I'm throwing with the wind, I don't want to throw against the wind. So when I throw the net, it goes out here and it will go into the marker and not go into the piling. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm showing Brad the ledges at Port Manatee. See how there's rocks on top of this ledge in here? Yep. I would definitely mark that, and see how high the relief is. See, that's good. That's a good spot right there. Yep. Go ahead and mark that. Okay. So when you see the high reliefs like that on the machines, that is giving you an indication of how much ledge there actually is. So we're going to go back and actually fish that number 81 because it had good rocks on top of the ledge and it had a really good ledge below. So see, there's another spot right there with rocks on the top. I try to look for those, so I would mark that. Yep. So let's go ahead and get back and get set up on that 81.
So I guess if the trolling motor were working, how would you set up on it? You would get right up on that spot? Where I marked it?
We're gonna, yeah, I would get off of it a little bit because the tide is moving in. Now, if we don't do well here, then what we'll do is we'll move to the other side. We'll anchor actually in the channel, and then the back of the boat will get on the edge of the ledge going up.
Heck, I'll just run up there. I'll see where you get it. So are you first looking to see going into the wind?
Yeah, I'm going into the wind because that's going to be our...
That's going to push you where the current is. Go ahead and drop.
Yep. Right about here. Okay folks, what happened was, unfortunately, we had our GPS on our trolling motor was not getting GPS, so we had to come up with a different plan, which we're fishing the port. As you can see in the background, I don't hide anything, but as you can see on the screen, we have fish. We're right on the edge of the channel. That's exactly where I want to be. If we don't do well here, then we'll move over to the other side and fish up the channel, which is what I typically do, but I'm already marking snapper, so I have a good feeling about this. So we're going to go ahead and get situated and start fishing and see what we can do. A little snapper? Yeah. Folks, have I even caught a fish yet, Brad?
I don't know if you got one in the boat.
I haven't got one. Brad is putting a whooping on me.
Not bad.
No, not bad at all. Now he's trying to feed the shark that's swimming around here. It's about a 8-foot lemon shark.
You want to go swimming?
Sure. I'm not afraid of it. Except for full stuff.
I can't tell the difference.
just got eaten. Yep.
Got upgraded.
Got eaten by that shark. See, look at the big boil. That was a big snapper. God bless
So that was a snap.
you. Man, Snapper King.
Not bad.
Folks, all we're doing is we're using the slacker jigs, 1/8 ounce slacker jigs. He's using the circle hook. I'm using nada. But anyway, so the tide is moving halfway decent. Typically on this kind of tide, I don't like to use the slacker, but what we did is we come up the ledge and away from the ledge because we're marking fish in 22 feet of water, and these fish are up in the upper water column. So we're just drifting back, dead bait. We've cut bait with the bait cutter, regular bait cutter, and just put it on his bait cutting table, and just every once in a while throwing a couple pieces in the water, keeping the water chummed. And as you saw him, me, we're getting bit.
Break you off?
That's a good snap. Don't let that shark get him because he's on him. Mr. Shark's not happy with you. That's a big old lemon shark.
It is. I'm going to keep them just in the water. That's what I'm doing.
There he is, right there. Okay, so what kind of other questions do you have?
Just once I find the spot, what's the best way to get positioned on the spot properly?
Okay. All right.
So I'm getting the bait in where the fish are.
Maybe real quick, what we can do is, I know the trolling motor works, but it won't keep us on the spot for very long. But what we'll do is the next thing that we see, let's go ahead and mark it, and then we'll go about how we're going to get set up on this spot, because right now, like I said, the tide and the wind are going against each other, so it's a little bit, it's going to be, if we were trying to anchor, it would be impossible, but since we can demonstrate it with the trolling motor, but since we're not getting GPS, it won't last very long, but it will give you an idea of how I would set up on that spot.
Great.
Okay folks, what I'm going to do now is we marked the spot on the GPS, we're heading back to it, and what I'm going to show him is how to, now I would come out this way, he wanted to get right on it, he's allowing that little bit of 15 feet for the trolling motor, and we're going to come right back onto this ledge right here. So the boat is still facing a direction of about it's going to be about 225 is what we were before, 225, 230. So that tells me, okay, the tide hasn't compensated for the wind yet. So she's looking like she's working. So now, okay, now we know what our heading is. It's like it's going to 210. So now let's try this really quick. Let's see if she sits, and she sits, then great. She looks like she sits. Well folks, it was a day of trials and tribulations, as there's certain days that just stuff happens. But we overcame it. We went out and caught some fish, showed you some things. Now one thing that we noticed, Brad was using the north up on his GPS. Me personally, I like the heads up, because the heads up actually is following my boat and giving me the direction of where my boat is actually going. North up is giving you the direction from the north. So when we switched it from north to heads, what did it do?
It made it easier to get on the spot.
Get on the spot. Yep. So getting an understanding of how to set up on the spot was one of the biggest things that Brad wanted to learn. And he has a good understanding of his machine, but that was one of the biggest things that he was having issues with, was trying to get on that spot. And when we turned it to heads up, it completely changed the game, and he literally got dead on it. So you find what's right for you though. Some people might like it north up. I like it heads up on your GPS. When you can go into the settings and you can pick heads up, north up, course up, I like to hit heads up. So that's just well folks, that was a lot of fun with Brad, and it was a good consultation trip. Unfortunately, as you saw, we were having some issues with the trolling motor, and at the very end, what we found out that the prop came off. And I personally have never experienced that with a trolling motor, but I was actually told today that it's pretty common with the motor guides. I guess they don't put a lock nut on the prop. So if you have a motor guide, check that out. I'm not sure, I can't say for sure, but somebody told me that that's a problem that they were having, that they were losing props. I've never seen a prop come off a trolling motor, so that was a first. But I enjoyed bringing Brad out there. I enjoyed teaching him some new things. And that's what this whole consultation trip thing is all about, is getting out there and helping you get a better understanding of what you're looking at, how to set up your boat, and get an understanding of the surrounding waters, and knowing what you're looking for and looking at, so you can get everything set up properly and catch fish, because that's what we all love to do, is go out and catch fish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this video. I've been getting pounded by people asking for a walkthrough of the Stammus. So I'm going to do a walkthrough of the Stammus. I've got one more, or actually two more videos that I'm working on right now. One, I wanted to break it up a little bit. I wanted to do one of fishing in the bay, and then I'm going to do another one of fishing offshore. We were fortunate enough to bring an ex-NFL player offshore with us, Sammy Smith, that used to play for FSU and the Miami Dolphins. So that episode's coming up. He caught a couple of his personal bests, and it was a fun trip. The guy was a lot of fun to fish with, a lot of fun to have on the boat, and that's what it's all about with us, is going out, having a good time, ripping on each other a little bit, having a lot of laughs, and catching a lot of fish. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that's watched this. I hope you learned something from this episode. And if you are interested in doing a consulting trip, I do not charge. I can't, because I don't have a captain's license. But if you're interested, you can contact us at info@tampabayfishingchannel.com and get signed up for that. I have about 55 people right now, 54. But I'm going to take Brad out again when he gets his trolling motor fixed and stuff like that. So I want to have a good, pure trip with him. So if you are wanting to do a consulting trip, for the ones that have contacted me so far, thank you very much. I will be in touch. I will start touching base with people later this week. Well, it's Wednesday now, so probably late this week and into early next week. So if you are interested in doing a trip, info@tampabayfishingchannel.com. If you have not signed up on the website, subscribe to the website, please do that, because if we haven't hit 18,000 already, I haven't looked today, but if we haven't hit it, we've already hit it, and we'll be picking a winner to go fishing with us. So we've got a lot of stuff going on. I appreciate all the support with everybody buying jigs. If you're interested in our jigs, egg sinkers, hooks, cast nets, our cast nets are coming in. You can go to tampabayfishingchannel.com, order your stuff there. And if you have any questions, you can get in touch with us through Facebook, through our webpage, or through YouTube. So again, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Fish more, catch more, and we'll see you on the flip side. GoPro, stop recording.